Okay, so hey everyone, how are you guys doing? So today's episode we are finishing up where we left off last episode, which should be up here on the right hand corner, upper right hand corner. So last episode we were chasing someone down. They kept evading us, so now we're gonna go talk to the gardener. So let's get started. Okay, speak to Sabira in the Temple of the Roots. There she is.
We are here to keep you safe.
The last temple. I understand you, Einar, and Hekla made contact with the Gulder who supposedly runs this place. If this gardener is as all-seeing as you say, then he must know if someone has passed through.
Ah,
You and he are already acquainted, so I think it's best if you lead the conversation. I don't think that'd be good. I don't think that'd be a good idea. Eh, he doesn't like me very much. I don't think right now. But we'll try. Ask the gardener about the intruder. State your business. I have already had my time wasted once today. So someone was just here. Tell me, who came before me? Oh, just hanging. Looking for a mysterious stranger. Looking for a mysterious stranger. All of you mortals are strange to me, especially the purple ones. Fair. Now, I suggest you vacate the premises. I am occupied. Occupied with what? You don't have a job. Occupied with what? I am watching the shrubs in the atrium grow. All I needed, all I need is a description. Why are you being so difficult? Sounds boring. I guess I'll try somewhere else. I guess I'll try somewhere else? Wait, perhaps you and I can come to an agreement. I have information you desire, and you can provide me with something I desire. What do you want? As you should be aware, I am able to interface with any hub on my network. However, all currently active hubs are confined within the garden. To put it simply, I find myself affected by the doldrum nature of my continuous existence. So, what do you so what so what you want to people watch? Can't you talk to the Elder Golder? I don't get it. That's called boredom, bud. Um, so you want to people watch? And not necessarily. I simply wish to observe how the world has changed since the garden was active. I will provide you with a hub connected to the flow network. You will place this hub somewhere entertaining. Should I find myself entertained enough, I will give you the answer you seek. I guess I don't have a choice? Seems fair. Let's do it. That this is pretty urgent. Uh sure, I've got time, probably. Seems fair. Let's do this. Yes, humans often enjoy equivalent exchanges of goods and services for the benefit of both. I would like to see how the land outside of the garden has changed. Place my hub somewhere high up with a view of the area. Ensure there is a view of the aqueduct if it is still standing, or if it still stands. Let's chat. I forgot we can now talk to the gardener. Yeah, I forgot we can now befriend the gardener. While I find your tenacity admirable, I also find it a bit obnoxious when combined with your irrational optimism. Fair enough. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna, gift you yet, but we'll see. I would very much like to get my processors on some knapweeds. I would like to study its adapt, adaptivity firsthand. Jesus. Okay. I don't have any, but great. So let's check in with Sabira.
Anything to report?
I have heard your conversation with the gardener.
Um,
It appears you it appears we must entertain his request. At least you must. Gee, thanks. I will remain here and look for any other evidence. Make haste. Every moment longer is another the intruder may use to escape. So what, right there? Ah, right here. Okay. Speak to the gardener. I see. Based on the map I have in my data stores, this was once the heart of a bustling human city. Over there were the shipyards, and here the atrium. The aqueduct brought flow from the power plant wherever it was needed. Okay. Now this area is quiet. Very well. The Silver Wing Labs are next. Ensure I can observe every island in the area. The Silver Wing population remains intact, though many have migrated in the intervening years, and the islands remain upright. We shall see how long human ingenuity can last when they finally fall. I have completed my survey of this area. Take me to the university now. I believe the constructor Einar refers to it as Kilima. Somewhere that I may observe these new purple entities your caretaker calls Majri. Okay. Okay, and then place him here. Allow me to observe. The tall one with the strange hair. Why do they keep excreting sadness liquid from their ocular ducts every 5 minutes? Oh, Gel. Yeah, he does that. Making art can be overwhelming. Yeah, Gel needs therapy. You could ask. Um, you could ask. I highly doubt that the I highly doubt that culture has changed so much in the years that approaching a stranger and urging them to divulge personal information is considered acceptable. Yeah. Okay, that's fair. And I have no desire to make friends. I have no need of them. The short, fuzzy creature with the gold, is that also a type of Majri or some sort of evolved Kitsu? Huh. I'll tell Zeki you said that. Um, that's Zeki. He's Grimlockin. Not actually sure what Grimlockin are. Um, I think he's technically an alien? That's Zeki. Well, I mean, technically we don't even know what they are, so yeah. Grimlockins. Ah, your constructor had informed me about them in his rune workings. An alien species that came to Palia 400 years ago on a crash landed super yacht. Okay. They appear to have integrated well into modern society. So there are no so there are more intelligent species, some similar in appearance to the humans, and one less so, and one's less so. All functioning in harmony, unaware of the loss they have constructed their town on top of. Okay. You may bring the hub back to the garden now. I will provide you with the information you seek. Okay, and then we talk to the gardener again. The world outside the garden has changed in many ways, and in others remained the same. Logically logical actions, pretty petty dramas, nonsensical architectural styles, and no new Gulder, for we now lack the ability to create more, a dwindling supply of guardians. However, I still remain, as do the secrets I safekeep. An intruder came into the garden just before you. Yes, they were heavily cloaked and bypassed all my security measures using flow. They sought to disengage the Cosmo Protocol. As I am as I am the administrative consul within the garden, they require my permission. I did not grant it. There are certain requirements that must be active in or, to override the last lock on the protocol. They are not currently met. Who were they? As I stated earlier, they were heavily cloaked both with clothes and flow. When they spoke, their voice was distorted. I have been programmed to understand these factors imply their intentions are less than pure. What is the Cosmo Protocol? You do not have the correct authorization to obtain that information. What I can divulge is it, that it was set in place as a contingency plan should things go awry. What happens next? The intruder attempted to use their authority to override my protocols, by which I mean they tried to break through my flow walls to disable the protocol themselves. They were they were forced to stop, I assume, when they sensed you and the other one approaching. Okay. By the time I recovered, you were standing before my main hub, and the intruder fled through the back door. I appreciate the time you have brought me. As you placed the hub outside, I took the liberties of upgrading my flow walls to better protect against the vulnerabilities that were exposed. You may now vacate the premises. Let's talk again. I spent the day reading the logs of that good for nothing Titsu. I do not like him. He was jealous of Mother and took joy in spreading untruths. Great. Regroup with Sabira.
Loyalty is a virtue of the Republic.
They were right under our noses, and I missed it. It is a relief to hear the protocol remains intact, but that does little to ease the sting of failure. There is no trail to follow from here. They must have finally figured out how to cloak themselves from me. I do, however, have a few ideas on how to proceed. Give up and party? You mentioned suspects? Yes, I did, and I have some thoughts on who it might be. We know they are not a resident of Kilima village, or someone who spends any meaningful amount of time there. We also know that we also know they are well versed in the use of flow and are capable of carving their own rune stones. And we also know they are looking to keep a low profile and stay under the nose of the order. Either way, either they are an outside interloper who somehow discovered the existence of these temples, or it's Najma, or it's Tamala, or it's aliens. What do you think it was? Well, okay, so we know we know Najma. It's definitely not aliens. I don't think so. That would be too obvious, right? But there is a character that I have seen running around while I was running around Kilima and doing all my things and stuff. And I don't know her name, but I'm assuming it's this person. I don't know. Correct. When I first arrived in Kilima, I made it a point to introduce myself to everyone at the welcome party. Tamala was in attendance. She seemed reluctant to divulge any personal information and spoke in circles about her profession. It was as if she thought herself a palcat and I the ship runt under her paw. Seems a little too obvious. We'll need more evidence to convict, but she seems nice. Still think it was aliens. Seems a little too obvious. Perhaps, but I have learned that criminals are often quite obvious about their activities. But you have done more than enough work for me already, Mystic. It will be it will be better if I take the next part of this alone, so as not to tip her or any other suspects off. You've proven yourself in a valuable an invaluable partner. Should I have any updates, I'll ensure you are the first to know. Take care of yourself until then. Ooh, I got a nameplate for that. Plus something else? Hold on. More renowned collection. Nameplate. What was that? Ooh, fun. Okay. And so that's it. Is that it? Really? Main story? Yeah, that's it for now. A few weeks later, somewhere in Kilima. What the hell? Huh? Okay, you can't see my face, but I'm completely shocked. Oh shit. What the hell? What? Hold it. What? Uh, y- uh You, why? Okay, speak to Einar and reply. Okay, weird.
Your lip movements are directed at me?
Hello, Mystic. I am here to visit you, but it is not for our customary exchange of pleasant sounding vibrations radiating from your face flaps. From our face flaps. Okay. Did you perceive the large flow scent beams shooting into the atmosphere from the darkness of the night sky yesterday? I was sleeping. I thought someone set off fireworks. I was about to go ask someone. Um, the giant pink space laser? Nah. I was about to go ask someone? Then it is excellent. I have arrived before you left to inquire.
Oh,
Immediately after they filled my optical receptors, I received a missive from the gardener. He informed me that I should inform you of this information. The Cosmo protocol lockdown has been forcibly deactivated. That's all he said? That doesn't sound good. What was the Cosmo protocol again? The protocol that the mysterious stranger was attempting to override during your last excursion into the temples. The gardener complained about it to Hecla and I in great detail after you left. I am pleased to see he has become more friendly. I have already visited Sabira. She reacted negatively to this information, though she was very polite to me. The Watcher has requested your presence within the Night Sky Temple. I shall return to my cave and continue confronting, comforting Gil 527. He dislikes bright flashing lights.
good. Why? Is that not how humans close?
Okay, yeah, no, we're gonna finish this. Cause what? Okay, before we get into anything else, um, so when I did this on my own personal account, I don't think this was a thing. This wasn't a thing that was given to us. Um, so I'm assuming you have to finish the bundles to get the I'm assuming this quest line. If you don't and you continue about the story without completing it, it ends differently, I think. Okay, so let's go talk to the gardener. But like I said before, I don't think when I did this originally, I don't remember this being an option for a quest. So I'm pretty sure because at the time I didn't even complete the bundles. I just went about the story the way it was, and then after the fact, finally completed it. So I'm assuming, like I said, this might be a different way to complete it. But let's go talk to the gardener and go from there. Why are you here and not dealing with the deactivation of the Cosmo protocol? I wanted to know more about the protocol. I believe I informed the constructor that asking me further information about the protocol would be a waste of time, as I am a Gelder and do not have a mouth with which to speak. I cannot stutter. I cannot stutter. This leads me to believe the fault lies with you. You really won't tell me anything? Sorry? What if I ask really nicely? You don't have to be so grumpy. You don't have to be so grumpy. My apologies. Next time I shall tell you To stop wasting our time more politely, I expect it will waste even more time to do so. Okay. There's nothing more I can tell you, even should I wish to. I do not have access to that information. You had best be on your way. One of us has not outgrown the need for legs, so I suggest you use them. Okay, so this hasn't changed.
Anything in the pursuit?
You're, sure there's no one else here, Sir Watcher? No one lurking in the shadows? If there is, I will take care of them. That won't be necessary. I scanned the entire area. As long as they are of this plane, they cannot hide from the order. Well, I suppose that's comforting, unless they're an extra dimensional being. Eloise lent me some articles about those. Ah, Mystic, we were waiting for your arrival. If you saw the sky last night, then you will not be surprised why I have requested your presence. Still, allow me to ensure we are all on the same page. Last night, a beam of flow erupted from somewhere in the vicinity of the night sky temple. It appears that activated something across the island of Bahari. Reports are coming in from as far as Narevin and Marafu about the lights. One thing all of the agents agree on is that Kilima was the first. Whatever happened started here. It's not the first time ancient human space lasers shone in the sky above Kilima. You didn't happen to solve any puzzles last night without telling us, right? Do crosswords count? I had nothing to do with this. Could it have been the intruder? Yes, I suspect so. According to the gardener, the final Cosmo Protocol lockdown was forcibly disabled 10 minutes before the eruption. If you direct your attention slightly to the right, you may become aware of a door that was previously locked and is no longer. Yes, thank you, Hekla. While I made a brief scan for intruders, I was waiting for you to investigate further. Gina, Hekla, can I trust you to keep watch out here? Of course, Sir Watcher. You may rely on me. If you need to rest your eyes, Gina, please inform me, and I shall watch twice as hard for the both of us. Alright, fine. I stayed up a little late last night because of all the excitement, but I don't need a nap. Jeez. Mystic, let us investigate this new space. I will meet you inside.
Fear not, the order has arrived.
Blocked. We will need to find another way around. Ever since I discovered how to synthesize Cosmoflow, the money has been coming nonstop. Everything I ask for, I am granted. It's hard not to let this sort of power get to my head. The king himself came to visit the other day to test out the new hydro potions. If something had gone wrong, and I was responsible for our king growing tentacles or a second head, instead he said the the taste was refreshing, and that he felt slightly more energetic than he had before. Then he patted me on the shoulder. I'm embarrassed to admit it made me blush. But if this new power can lead to a better life for our people, I can handle a little discomfort. If they try to interview me or the paper again, though, I am turning them down. Written on the corner of the page is a letter in bright red. Q. From the dark of Arus? I don't know. Record 1. Nothing else? No. It's not there. Oh, here, I think? Yes. Something's here, at least. Record 2. On the nature of cosmoflow. Lecture transcript. Arus, there are a few things we know for sure about cosmoflow, but in order to understand them, one must understand the nature of flow itself. I will attempt to explain here, but if any of you have questions, please visit my office afterwards for a more in-depth explanation. Now, can anyone explain what exactly pure flow is? Student A raises hand. Arus. Yes, you there. Student. Student A. Well, it's a form of energy, right? Natural energy that comes from the flow realm. Arus, that is correct. There are two known realms. Two known realms. Ours, the material realm, and the realm of flow. You may think of these two realms as existing on either side of a coin. We exist on the side of mortals, and flow comes from the side of Embra. Natural flow enters our realm through well springs. This is what we refer to as pure flow, since it has not been affected or changed by the material world yet. Student B. What about elemental flow? Arus. Excellent question. As you all know, everything in our world contains small amounts of flow. As the energy integrates with the material world, it gains one of four elemental aspects: hydroflow, pyroflow, terraflow, and aeroflow. Until recently, we believed these to be the only possible fusions of flow. That is, until it was discovered that through the careful transmutation of our four elements, a fifth fusion could be formed, that is, cosmoflow. When applied to other, simpler forms of elemental flow, it catalyzes their effect to levels heretofore unseen. Student C. It was you who discovered cosmoflow, wasn't it, Professor? Arus. Well, yes, but discoveries are rarely the result of sole genius. I had a team, funding. Student D. I heard you were invited to the royal palace to meet King Mudan? Was he really as handsome as Arus? I think that's enough questions for now. Written on the corner of the page is a letter in bright red. S. Q. S? Okay, that seems to be important for something, maybe? Cosmoflow applications. Day 6. Experiments on Cosmoflow's catalyzing properties continues apace. Terraflow seems the most resistant to extreme change, but Hydroflow accepts the application of Cosmoflow as easily as anything else. When formulated into an in ingestible hydro potion. The standard rejuvenating qualities appear to be multiplied. I have tried some of this new Cosmo drink myself and was up half the night working on a new project before the effects wore off. There appears to be few side effects to consuming this concoction, or the concoction. It tastes vaguely of citrus. It was with a pleasant natural carbonation. Okay. Cosmoflow application day 78. I think I may have discovered the key to immortality. An injection into the dermal layer of Cosmoflow, catalyzed hydroflow provides more lasting effects of elevated energy, increased concentration, and improved health, but applied in specific rune forms, it is hard to prove in such a short amount of time, but the aging of the subject of me appears to have stopped entirely. More research needs to be done before I bring this to anyone else, even the other scientists at the lab. I was only able to apply the runes to a small area of skin. I have not given enough time to record any possible side effects. If everything goes to plan, I'll bring it to Muden soon, perhaps the next time he stops by for tea. On the corner of the page is a letter in bright red 7. Okay. Record 4, day 879. The Minister of Flow visited our facility today. She asked me to meet privately. Apparently, there are some tensions at the southern border, and she wanted to inquire about various practical applications of Cosmoflow. She wanted to make weapons. I asked if General Sidel knew she was here, and she brushed the question off. Then she asked me about my mother and whether she was still in the memory care facility. The implications were clear. We always knew this would come. Security clearance at the facility has been extreme from the founding of it. I trust everyone here with my life and my mother's. I told her we could grind other projects to a stop for this. All of Valeria relies on the catalyzed flow from our lab. Day 1 uh, day day 1024. Experiments on weaponizing Cosmoflow are proceeding as safely as they can without putting anyone at risk. Interestingly, the minister interestingly, Minister Vera herself has volunteered to be a test subject, especially regarding our project on hydroflow serum. I declined as politely as I was able to. She is already covered in hydroflow ruins for immortality. Any more cosmoflow in her body could prove disastrous. The serum itself is interesting. Instead of immortality, it imbues the subject with physical strength, speed, analytical ability, but their emotional core and social skills suffer greatly in response. As for the other substances, I have managed to resist proceeding with those experiments for the moment. Written on the corner of the page is a letter in bright red, a question mark. That's 4. Was that 4? Yes. Mirror Protocol. Record 5. I wish these visits from important people that change I wish these visits from important people that change the trajectory of my work would stop. It's been 2.5 centuries since this facility was founded, and yet the headaches refuse to something. This time it was Mudin. The man always has an air of somber gravitas around him in public. But we've been working together too long for that, which told me this was not a social call. The flow is running out. It's my fault. Mudin didn't say that. In fact, he was insistent on shouldering all the blame. But we both know it's the Cosmoflow creating Cosmoflow. Creating it requires a vast amount of raw flow, and even more in the application. I don't know why it never occurred to me that flow could run out. Were we really consuming as much? Were we really consuming so much? Is there no way to reverse our course? That's why he came, to ask my help in finding an alternate power source. He told me he believes one exists, that there is a third plane and we only need access it. That Cosmoflow could be the key to ripping across the veil and opening the tap. He calls it the Mirror Protocol. He's asked me to join him in reaching through the looking glass to the other side. I'm not sure why he bothered asking. Frankly, either we allow society to collapse or we find another way to power it. I've done it once before, so it should be easy to do it again. At least, that's what I told him. I think I'll visit my mother tonight. It's been too long. Written on the corner of the page is a letter in bright red, V. 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Record 6, Cosmo Protocol. I always thought I would know the day the world ended. It turns out it happens in inches. Until salvation is too far to see on the horizon anymore. One by one, my colleagues leave the lab. They all say the same thing. We should have never crossed the veil. It's not that I disagree. It's just that if I accepted it's too late, I'll turn into one of them. The hope will seep from me, and nothing will be able to plug the leak. So I hold tight to the thought that there's still something we can do. And I keep looking. The world is still fighting. The empire of Valera, holds strong. Galder and human repel the monsters everywhere, but they can barely touch the creatures from across the rift. So I'm working on a staff. It takes ambient flow and synthesizes it into Cosmoflow. I don't expect it to do much about the rift, but perhaps it will be able to keep some of the creatures at bay. If we can fight back, we can still stop this. If it works, we'll make more in honor of Mudin's love for ominously named projects. We're calling it the Cosmoflow Protocol. In order to keep random survivors from stumbling on this facility, it will be locked away. The other overseers have all agreed, and the security measures installed. Funny thing, they don't even know existed before Vera made the introduction. Made the introductions? I only hope I can finish this research in time. At least the energy crisis has resolved. Haha. Written on the corner of the page is a letter in bright red. Percent symbol, okay. So 6, 7. Record 7. Goodbye for now. My mother used to tell me stories of the Phoenix, how she defeated the abyss and brought light to the world. That during the battle in the void, she received a mortal wound and dragged the darkness with her. Her heart formed the sun, her eyes the moon, her feathers became blades of grass, and though her blood ran and through her blood ran the rivers, and through her blood ran the rivers of the world. Finally, from her soul came humanity, and through our fervent prayer and love, she was reborn again. Mother thought, Mother thought that as her children, all of us were capable of the same rebirth. That even in our failures, we could bring the light. Maybe I should have asked Mudin about it before he disappeared. He'd likely know the truth. I failed. Humanity failed. We can even lay calm. We can't even lay calm to defeating the abyss this time. I'm afraid it will swallow us all. Before it does, if there is still hope in some distant future, if you are reading this and the sun still rises, people still laugh and cry and hurt and yell like they used to here, then maybe we do get another chance at this. I hope that my fervent prayer reaches you and you are reborn. I hope the world is brighter where you are, and that if the darkness threatens you like it did us, you fight harder, love stronger, and never lose hope. You carry the flame of our people with you, and that will never go out. I'm going to take a walk. I hope the sunrise is still as breathtaking in your future as it always has been for us. The password to the facility's administrative command is spread across these logs. Use it well or don't use it at all. So, okay, I gotta remember. So, Q. S. 7. Question mark. V. Okay, and then the last one is J. Okay. Okay, speak to Sabira again.
Loyalty is a virtue of the Republic.
Fascinating. There is nothing in the records about this place. Gina and I pored over everything we could discover about the temples. There are blueprints for the other 4, and implications that the Night Sky Temple was intended to be nothing more than a repository retrofitted from the human university. What was the Cosmo Protocol hiding? And why did the ancient humans want to keep it a secret, even from their own people? Only one way to find out.
Ah,
Quite right. And as this appears to be a fifth temple, we can likely expect some sort of puzzle in the way. There appears to be a console ahead. Experience dictates we should check there first. Please enter the password. Hint: put the pieces of the password in the logbooks. Okay. Q S 7 question mark V, that symbol, and then J. Ready to submit. Password accepted. Welcome, Iris. Temple of the Cosmos. Status online. Messages? I know what you're doing. Arus? I don't know. Progress on the research I requested has all but stalled. No more supplies will be approved for your projects until I see something change. Remember, this is for the security of Valera. Either you are a patriot or you are a traitor. I know which side I would choose. Messages, okay. 2. Titus. Yo, found this address deep in the files. While I was messing around with the gardener's flow walls. Is there really a fifth facility? How come none of us know about it? What are you working on over there? 9024. File corrupted. Please contact administrator. Okay. Okay, babe. I'll delete your message from my inbox. Sorry. Just want to make sure you're fine and still, alive. We're locked up tight here. Over at the garden. Connection might drop at any moment. If it does, I'm coming to find you. Just be safe and keep trying to save the world, okay? Ah. User admin 1. Action engage mirror protocol. Result successful. User Aris. Action disengage mirror protocol successful. User Aris. Action engage Cosmo Protocol temple lockdown. Result successful. User Aris. Action engage Cosmo Protocol. Artifact lockdown. Result successful. User Aris action send message. Recipient Titus. Result successful. User Aris action disengage Cosmo Protocol temple lockdown. Result successful. User Titus action enable safe mode. Result successful. User Titus action engage Cosmo Protocol temple lockdown. Result successful. Admin 1 action engage mirror protocol. Results successful. User admin 1 action disable safe mode. Results successful. So they did two things a minute ago. Temple of the Cosmos status. User. Okay, protocols. Please select protocol to see status. Mirror protocol? Check tap status. Elderwood tap active.
Loyalty is a virtue of the Republic.
Any updates? Here's what I found. These notes are quite concerning, and I must admit a little fascinating. The Order's records don't have anything of this depth about the end of humanity. I will take them for the moment to go over in my own time. For now, we need to address the information you found on the console. Based on everything, it is reasonable to deduce that the Cosmo Protocol was involved in locking this place away and restricting access to the staff. The Mirror Protocol, meanwhile, is connected to the light show last night, and the beam we can clearly see emitting from that orb. Were there any mentions of other temples or other possible locations? Said the Elderwood tap was active. A tap, but to what? I suppose the only way to find out is to visit the Elderwood ourselves. Allow me to drop the professionalism for a moment and address you candidly, Mystic. The mission we undertook together investigating the other temples was dangerous, yes. But you were already involved when I asked for your assistance. This, however, is not your responsibility to take on. You have done more than enough already in assisting me. If you choose to end your involvement with all this now, I would understand completely. And miss out on all the fun? You need me. I want to protect Killamit too. And miss out on all the fun? Members of the Order are expected to keep emotions out of their work. That being said, I do enjoy this line of work too. It's quite thrilling, isn't it? Ahem. But this is serious. We do not know the harm that has been caused yet. I need to inform my superiors from the Order and loop Eshi in on everything that's happened. Which means I need you to scout ahead in the Elderwood. Keep your senses sharp. We know very little about the situation in the forest, and it is better to be overly cautious than reckless. If you find yourself in any true danger, I will know, and I will find you. I should be just behind you anyways. Can't imagine that should take too long. Allow me to escort you to the exit before we part ways. Okay, you know what? I think this is where we're gonna end it. So, our next episode, we're officially going into the Elderwood. So, with that being said, I hope you guys have a good day, good week, good month, good year, good whenever you're watching this. And I will catch you guys next time when we actually and officially go into the Elderwood. Yay! Lastly, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the post notification bell so you never miss a video when I post. To the right of your screen will be a video that YouTube thinks you'll like. To the left of your screen will be a video that I've posted. With all that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful week, day, month, year. Whenever you're watching this, stay healthy, stay happy, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!